What's up guys, welcome to the channel and welcome to Bertrand Acres. So here we are, Bertrand Acres. This property is fairly new to me and my wife, so we are still trying to learn everything. The previous owners have been unbelievable. I did another video on my main channel, my original channel, Bertrand 850. You guys may recognize me. That's more of automotive / HOA drama type stuff. We won't be dealing with HOA drama here at this property. I've already met all the neighbors. They're pretty far away, because all these properties out here are relatively large, you know, anywhere from 5 to 40 or 100 acres. So I've met most of the neighbors directly to the left, right of me, and then a couple, you know, 1 or 2 properties down, and they have been unbelievable. They're awesome people. You can just tell they're just good people that would help out in times of need, or if I needed help lifting something, they would help. So they're awesome people. I can already tell that, and way different than my previous neighborhood. So that is a breath of fresh air being in a place like this. But anyways, it is nearly 10 acres, North Florida. We absolutely we fell in love with it instantly. You know what, should we start with the inside? The inside's not completely put away just yet. We're still kind of moving out of boxes, and we're close, but let's go ahead. And this is ultimately what really sold us on the house, was walking this front door. And so yeah, this was mainly what sold us on this house. I mean, everything else definitely helped, but this was the icing on the cake, I guess you could say. Opening up this door and seeing this view is unbelievable. We kind of knew we wanted it, but when we opened the door, we're like, okay, how do we make this happen? There's Elliot grabbing a random object like usual. There's Gifford wanting to, you know, wrestle it from him. Yeah, this is unbelievable. This view we get to wake up to every day. We got the geese. There's one of the geese right there. Got 3 or 4 more out in the pond. Those are actually the previous owner's geese. We're helping watch them until they find their next property. It's the least we could do. Those people are incredible. They made this whole process like so seamless. They're unbelievable to work with. But yeah, we're watching their geese. They're funny to watch. I mean, they got a little attitude, but they're not like I wouldn't say they're mean. But yeah, this is the view. Got the pond back there. They had that put in, I want to say 6 years ago or so. And it's actually fed by the well. It's also fed by the gutter system on the house. So I'll go over all that once we're outside. Obviously, living room here, TV, closet. That is actually a half bath right there. This is for the air handler. There's the stairs. Kitchen, do not judge us. We are still unpacking. We got a bunch of lights we're putting up, surveillance type stuff. Finding a spot for everything is not the easiest. Dining room here, coffee bar. They left pretty much all of that stuff for us, like the shelving for the coffee bar. Yeah, really nice kitchen. I absolutely love it. Cool views. Pantry right here. Pantry is pretty big. We're not used to having a pantry this size and this empty. But I love it. It's gonna take a lot to fill that sucker up. Here is one of the other full baths downstairs. There's actually 2 full baths downstairs and 1 half bath. Pretty nice. And here is the laundry room. We just got these delivered. This one has to be picked up here, I think tomorrow. I think it's tomorrow. It showed up kind of damaged, and the people that installed it, it was free installation and free delivery from Best Buy. So he noticed that there was some damage, so he actually put in the order to replace it, which is pretty cool of them. And then here is the garage. Do not judge. It is kind of a mess still. We're still, like I said, trying to get all the boxes situated, and you can see all the boxes over there that need to be burned. It's a lot of stuff moving. It is definitely a process. So that is that. Well, let's go over to the master bedroom. Absolutely love the master of this thing. It is unbelievable. Sorry, I did not, this is not a professional realtor, overview of a property. Trust me, I don't even have the bed made or anything. But master bedroom, you get the pass-through little fireplace. You got the TV there. Here's the master bathroom. Again, this is just a quick little overview of everything. There it is. That's unbelievable. I absolutely love that. We'll go upstairs real quick, and then we're gonna go outside, because I know a lot of you guys are more about the outside of the property, and I am too. I mean, the inside is really nice, but ultimately, besides that view, we really love this property for the size, the acreage, and it is a very pretty property. But here is the first bedroom up here. Pretty big. Nice views, of course, a little dinette type thing, a little wraparound dinette. Up here is awesome, because I guess you could have this as a master as well, but upstairs you don't have your own bathroom. But pretty hard to beat the views up here. I was thinking about putting like a hot tub or something up here, but we'll see. Yeah, there's the pond. I'll look at the property. All over here. I'll show you guys all that once we get out there, down on the ground. So this is the first bedroom. Good size. This came with the house. They left that for us. They left the decorations for us, like a lot of the bear theme throughout the house. This futon was left for us. This is the other upstairs full bathroom. Really nice. It's got like the bear theme, holding the toilet paper there. Bears there. Moose. It's kind of crazy because this house doesn't look like it belongs in North Florida. It looks like a Tennessee, Montana, that kind of home. And here's the second bedroom. They actually left these shelving here. They left this bed frame and all the sheets and all the bedspread and all that. That's our TV. This is a storage / the upstairs air handler. Yeah, and here's the view from up here. Pretty crazy. All right, guys, so now that we showed you the inside, again, this channel is not gonna be a lot of inside the house. It's more of like the outside, the acreage, the DIY, homesteading, as you can tell by the title, Bertrand Acres Homestead. So you get a lot of homesteading, DIY, like cooking, just like bettering the land, I guess, being more self-sufficient on the property, pond stocking, pond maintenance, lawn care, I would say like tool reviews, like equipment reviews, things like that. That's kind of what we want to do with this channel. And it's definitely more up my alley. Obviously I'm big into automotive. I absolutely love automotive. That's my original channel. And I still, I'm not against that. I'm still gonna do that on my other channel, but this one's not for that really. You'll see a little bit of it on here. But yeah, let's go ahead and do a little walk around of the property. And yeah, so start with the front yard. Obviously all the landscaping is way nicer than my previous house, so it is very important to me to keep this up. There are some spots that need some work, but it's got a 13 zone irrigation system on this property. The irrigation system also runs into the pond, so if the pond gets low, we can fill it up with the irrigation. It is all on a well, and this is the well pump house here, as you can see right there. It's actually made from leftover logs from the home. Yeah, the previous owners spent a lot of time working on this property. Here it is, pump house. It's actually probably 30 degrees colder in here than it is outside, which is crazy because it's like 100 out here, and the pump house feels like it's 70. Water softener right there. Got the old weed eater, all that. There's the irrigation setup, the well, all of that. Little extra supplies here. Yeah, pretty cool. Little mini pump house. And also what's really cool, which I didn't really realize, is the gutter system on this goes underground into the pond as well. So not just the house, but the pump house also. Yeah, let's keep going. This is gonna be a long video, guys, because this is like an introduction to the channel. So I wanna kind of show you everything I know about this property. There's a bunch of trail systems throughout this whole property. I think it's like half a mile worth, and there's some that need to be cleared. I don't have the equipment just yet to fully clear it. Well, if I do it by hand, I definitely could, but if there's anyone out there that have like an excavator with like a mulcher or like a, you know, a brush hog or something like that, that'd be awesome. That's what eventually I need to get. So was a chicken coop. There's no chickens in there. I think they have them. Some trail systems towards the front of the property. I think that's more of an easement for with a power line out there. We can go back there if you want. Again, this is gonna be a really long video. Like, it's gonna be me talking, me showing you everything I know about this place and kind of getting you guys up to speed on what this channel is gonna be about and some of my plans for it. So, because I have a lot of plans for this property. We don't plan on leaving here ever. Well, I'm saying like, we'll leave here, you know, we'll leave here to go places, but like, we're not gonna sell this place. I mean, this place is our absolute dream. Again, we didn't think we'd get it this soon in our life. Well, we thought maybe we would retire and get something like this. We have it early, so it wouldn't be a bad move to film everything, you know, film everything of us making it our own. There's a lot of things that have already been done to this property that we love, but there's a lot of things that we want to add to make it our own and kind of just, you know, better the property. It's got a lot of room to grow. It's 10 acres, and I think I would say 60% of it is still uncleared. I mean, there is trails, but it's mostly uncleared. So, yeah, a little chicken coop here. Go through here's more trails. Goes back here towards there's actually a creek that runs along kind of this far edge of the property with the neighbor. And apparently, he told me that you can actually take it all the way from our property. It goes under the road. I don't know how much clearance you have under the road, but you can take it all the way from our properties to Deer Point Lake, which is our big lake that's like maybe a half a mile or a quarter mile away from the property. It's a really good sized lake here in North Florida. I'm actually in like the Panama City, Youngstown, Bayou George, Lynn Haven area. All, you know, Northwest Florida, I guess you could call it. I'm in the Florida Panhandle. I'm pretty close to Deer Point Lake. So Deer Point Lake is one of the local lakes, like I said, and people fish that a lot. It's a really, really nice lake. But yeah, all this is all still fenced in because of the animals that were on the property that can kind of hold in dogs if you have dogs, which we do, but our dogs won't run away. So it runs kind of along there. You can do all types of gardening, like above ground gardening. That's what we plan on doing, making our own vegetables and growing our own vegetables and things like that. As far as over here goes, yeah, a little more trail systems. And then over here, this is actually where we keep the geese at night, because the geese can't defend themselves against coyotes or foxes or any other type of animal. So they have to go in their pen at night. And here's another little chicken coops, little pen for, I guess, whatever animal you wanted to put in there. And here is the goose pen. There's one right there laying eggs right there. There's like I think a Chinese something goose. So here's their pen. They're pretty locked in here. Nothing has really messed with them. And I'm actually about to be putting up surveillance to keep an eye on them at night. Probably somewhere right there on the house. Probably right up there, keep it kind of an eye. Maybe a motion detector. Depends on how far the internet reaches, but we'll see. So that's that. There's some little power there, breaker box with some 110s in there as well. Another cool thing about this property is it's got a full like RV dump station slash like full hookup. So 30 amp breaker, 30 amp. So it's got 30 amp service right here, full dump out right there. And then obviously it's got water. So we're gonna eventually bring the motorhome out here, make like a pole barn style. We'll have to move these fences a little bit this way probably, or make a set, maybe make it to where it kind of just, maybe a gate right here. I got to see exactly where the drain field is for the septic. It's somewhere in here. You can kind of see where it's, you can kind of see that it's right here. I just don't know if it goes this far or not, so I have to make sure I don't back a 40,000 pound motorhome over a drain field. So this is kind of the path the geese go every night. They kind of have like a routine. Around 6 o'clock, they kind of gather over here, then they come in here, and they go into this little area first. They have their water, some food, and then around 6:30, 7, they start making their way back in the pen. And it's kind of set up in 2 spots in there, and so we have to separate 2 of them from the other 4 because they can get kind of mean when they're enclosed. So that's that. This is where the donkey. There's 2 donkeys that used to live here. They are, I think, still local right now, staying with another donkey until the owners of them find their next property. So that's where they lived, in that little shed there. I'm gonna probably fix that shed up and make it into like a more of a tool shed for, you know, lawn equipment, things like that. Let's see what else. Again, this property is going to be a little bit of everything. It's going to be like fixing this crossbuck fencing, like this. I just felt right here, it's kind of squishy. So we got rotted wood right here. That all feels fine. So I got to replace this piece. Won't be that hard of a job. So again, I lived in an HOA before this, and didn't really require too much maintenance. It was a smaller property. It was a stucco house, so it didn't really require too much, just a little bit of lawn care, which we didn't really do much of. I mean, we didn't really have an irrigation system, so it just looked pretty terrible all the time. And so this is gonna require a little bit more pride and putting a little bit more effort into keeping the property as pretty as it is. So yeah, this is the back of the property right here. Again, it's about 4.5 acres cleared. There it is. There's one of the geese right there. That one is the second biggest one. I guess they were rescued because they were, I think, here locally, but they were mistreated. So the previous owners rescued them, and they've been on the property ever since. This is a bunch of extra fencing, and it's all gated in as well. So if we wanted to have like even horses or something else, goats, which we do have plan on getting goats, which would be really, really cool. We're trying to dial in the property first before we start adding any more, you know, animals. So we don't want to overload it for ourselves. We're trying to ease into this property because it is kind of a lot going from, you know, a smaller gated community HOA house to, you know, 10 acres with a pond and a, you know, much bigger house. And so I love the challenge, and I love like making things better. And so I'm really excited to have this house and kind of build it and make it our own. So yeah, so a lot of things can be done over here. We're probably gonna bring our tortoises over here. We have 3 sulcata tortoises. One's about 90 pounds, one's 65, and one's probably 40 pounds. I've had them since I was pretty much in high school. Well, 2 of them I had basically since high school, and they actually are over at the warehouse. They have a full enclosure at the warehouse, climate controlled house and all that. So they got it made there, but I think eventually I am gonna bring them here, maybe over in this section. I'll have to clear this out with a brush hog and maybe fence it in a little bit better, because they burrow, so they can get out of here. But just walking around the pond. So it's about 1/3 of an acre pond. It's about 6 or 7 feet deep in the middle. Eventually we might dig it out a little bit more, maybe. The goal is to put some fish in there. I would like to put a grass carp or 2, maybe a largemouth, some bluegill, things like that, maybe some catfish. That's the goal. And yeah, I would really like to do that. I want to do it correctly though. So if you guys know anything about pond stocking, let me know down below in the comments. I'd really appreciate some insight on it. I've never done it. It looks fun. It'd be cool to fish out here, you know, feed the fish, watch them grow. It'd be really awesome. But yeah, here is the back portion of the property. It actually goes pretty far back there. I can go grab a little, I have a little like electric mini bike. I'll go grab that and we'll go for a ride back there, and I'll show you some of the areas that need to be cleared and kind of what's already cleared. So yeah, here is the back of the property. Before we go get that bike, I'm gonna show you a little bit right here. So you know what? Let me go grab the bike and then we'll head back over here. But yeah, this is the fire pit. It is awesome little area here. Got the Adirondack chairs. Over there is actually all the fire pit like essentials, all the equipment. You got firewood in there, lighters, some of those fake logs, some solar lights. There's an umbrella that goes in right there. I think some of the footstools for the chairs, a lot of cool stuff, and all the fire essentials there. So, all right, let me go. All right, so I'm gonna go grab the mini bike real quick, and we're gonna go for a quick ride around the property. Of course, over here, that takes the longest to mow. That's probably maybe an acre and a half over there, I would say, something like that. All right, so there's a little side gate here. So we'll go over there in a second. This is gonna make more sense to use the mini bike so I can get around the property a little faster. That way this video is not, 3 hours long. So let's go ahead and grab that. I would say grab the side-by-side, but it's not as easy to get around back there. The trails are a little bit tight right now for a six-seater side-by-side. So maybe we need to get like a, I don't know, maybe like a regular four-wheeler for out here, or maybe like just a two-seater side-by-side. I don't know. That thing is a little bit much for out here. Okay, so this is I'll do a video on this thing on the channel. It makes more sense because I think this thing is unbelievable for getting around the property. So it is actually an Ego mini bike, EGO. So it uses the power tool batteries, and I have a bunch of the power tool batteries already. So it makes so much sense to have this thing. Let's do this. Let's try to do this without me falling. That'd be pretty cool. Feels a lot nicer than walking, I'll tell you that much. So, yeah, here is kind of the outside little perimeter of the property along the road here. It is, I think it's like 1,200 feet of this crossbuck fencing here. So here's the main gate to get in for trailers and whatever. You can see where the zero turn, I ran with a zero turn right here. It took me about 5 hours to mow this whole property with a 60-inch deck zero turn. I kind of took my time. I was just kind of going slow, learning the property, learning like a good route to go. So it goes a little further back there, but we're not going to go on the old mini bike. Some trees down from the tornado and Hurricane Michael. So let's keep going. Sorry if this video is dragging along. I just want to show you guys everything. I don't want to skip anything. So here is the solar well. So that actually feeds the pond here. It's very slow, so I might have to add an extra couple solar panels. I don't really need that anyways, but we do have it. So that is another well on the property, which is nice to have. There's the old fire pit again. Got one of the sprinkler heads up right there. All right, so here's where one of the driving with one hand and soft sand is not the best move, but here is the trail system on the property that I have found so far. Again, it's not a huge property, but 10 acres is a decent little size. So there's a lot of room for expanding back here if we want to, as far as trails go. There's one that goes back there. Oh, I think that wraps around by the solar well. So we can go that way, and then this way kind of brings us to the back of the property over here. But there's small little trail systems right there. That goes to the neighbor's house. And then this is obviously cleared really nicely. You can see all the deer tracks everywhere. Pretty cool. Let's see here. So this is kind of going to the back of the property. If I go all the way to the end of this trail right here, it'll bring us right to the end of the property. Still going. So I think right past over here is the back of the property. That is our neighbors right there. They actually have like a big L-shaped property. It's really, really nice. And you got a trail right there. It needs to be cleared a little bit. I think the other main part of the trail is up here on the left. Again, we've only been here like 10 days, guys, so we're still trying to learn this whole place. We didn't walk all the trails when we first bought it either. Like, we just kind of did a quick little, walk back here. So I'm also kind of learning as you guys are learning. So you see all the deer tracks, a bunch of deer back here. There's a salt lick kind of towards the opening over here. I'll show you guys. But there is a lot of opportunity for trails back here. You can see that they kind of started clearing some, they started mulching some stuff. I think they just kind of, I don't know if they just, why they just stopped, I'm not too sure, but you can see there's a lot of potential for trails back here. And the neighbors are really cool, so I could go ride probably on their property if they probably wouldn't mind. There's a good bit of trails around the area too, so do some off-roading and things like that. So that'd be cool. A lot of fishing in this area. Again, that's why I want to add fish to the pond. It'd be cool to fish in the backyard. That'd be so cool. But yeah, this part is all still cleared. I still want to come back here with a brush hog, or like a mini skid steer with a bush hog attachment on it. It'd be really cool just to clear out some areas to even like run back here, or go for like a little mini bike track, things like that. It'd be really cool. There is the salt lick right there for the deer. I haven't seen a deer out here in a while. I'm hoping to see them on the back of the properties at some point. I know they're back here all the time. I just never catch them out here. So here we're back on the cleared portion of the property. The trails also go like way back there, but they're not really cleared for a mini bike and filming. So that might have to be another video of us clearing that. So this is a cool little shaded somewhat area where we could put like a storage building of some sort, maybe like a little shed or something for lawn equipment or tools or whatever it may be. I'll tell you right now, the plan I have, let me run over here. That's like a burn pit right there. I'm gonna burn all those cardboard boxes here shortly. Going back over here. Again, this little mini bike is so awesome. It does like almost 30 miles an hour. Probably around a 20 or 30 mile range, I would say, maybe probably 20 with me on it. I'm not the lightest human in the world. But yeah, the plans for over here, which I'm gonna kind of fill you in, I'm gonna be putting a pole barn over here. Not closed in like a barn dominium just yet, but it's going to house like the side-by-side and things like that don't need to be out in the driveway. Maybe the zero turn and things like that. Maybe some more like tractors and equipment as we kind of add to the fleet, I guess. But something to kind of keep things from looking cluttered and have a spot for everything. So we are back at the front yard. We'll go more towards the front of the property real quick. I'll run you along the road real quick. So we just put in some lighting. These are things I should have been filming because it is a homesteading channel and people like to see progress on property. All right, so here is the front of the property. Kind of along here. Keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. So apparently, that's our fencing still going. I think it still goes like down by where the creek goes through, but this is where the creek goes underneath the road. Again, I haven't looked into this. I haven't looked and seen how much clearance we have if we go under that. But I trust the neighbor because he said he has plans this year of going under there and going all the way from here, which the creek runs right here along both of our properties, and it runs all the way to like Deer Point Lake, which is really, really cool. And so that would be amazing to be able to just go in our backyard or side yards and take a kayak, like electric kayak or regular kayak or canoe, and go from here and go fishing for the day on Deer Point Lake. That would be amazing. Again, here is all the property out here. Another house over there. Kind of fill you in over here. Yeah, this is all ours, I believe, up to that power line right here, I believe. I think there's yeah, right there. Okay, so right there you can see the T-stake right there. You can see it kinda, though, with the white top. That is our survey mark for the end of our property. So we have a lot more property than we even really have we have access to it, I guess, but it's kind of just more private right now, you know, like I kind of like that. I guess there's 80 more trees on this property before Hurricane Michael. So 80 trees got taken out during Hurricane Michael on this property. So it was a lot more like private over here even. I don't mind how it you can kind of see the house from this angle. But it is crazy. I think there was 80 trees that got destroyed by Hurricane Michael. So here it is. That is the property, guys. I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm guessing it's going to be at least 30-40 minutes long. All right, guys, so that's probably going to do it for this video. It's probably, I don't know how long this video is, but pretty long. But let me know down below, because most of you are going to be new, because this is a new channel. Let me know what you guys want to see for future content. What sparks your interest? What do you want to see on the property? My goal right now is, like, obviously all homesteading type projects, DIY. I want to do like lawn care type videos. Even like, I don't know anything about gardening really, but I'm gonna have to learn. I want to start doing like an above ground garden, plant our own stuff, you know, become more like self-sufficient out here. We're on well water already, which is nice. Just things like that. I want to do like equipment type reviews and putting them to the test, things like that. Yeah, like new product reviews, pond stocking, just improvements on the property. I don't know if I'll do I don't know if the property is big enough for like doing like sawmill and stuff like that. It'd be kind of cool to have our own. There's definitely a bunch of trees that need to be cut down on the property, or at least cut up, and it'd be kind of cool to do some sawmilling projects and use some of the property's wood for certain projects. So that'd be cool. Of course, we're gonna do a log cabin maintenance, because down here in Florida, they do require a little bit more maintenance than, you know, Tennessee or, you know, Montana, things like that, because this is direct sun pretty much all the time. So it's going to require a lot more, but we thought it was worth it. We have fallen in love with this property already, and so we are excited to bring you guys some content on the property. Again, we want to use, like, you know, tractors, skid steers out here, maybe mini excavators, clear the trails out. I want to do kind of maybe like a mini like pit bike track back there. It'd be cool. Fishing, things like that. So if I forgot anything that you guys want to see, leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys think of the property. We are so excited. It doesn't even seem real to us just yet, but it is. So yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.